three events, a ladies' race trophy, and then the GM trophy, which was for maiden Norsemen and the 16s. And here we see the start of the ladies' regatta. Med against Carpe, one crew from each. Rowing for Med at stroke, it was Joanne Alger, Jeddah Figueras. At 3, Christine Haviland at 2, and Tamara Viadas at 1. Chris Attard was the cox, the Med boat. And for Carpe, it was Anne Vella at stroke, Ruth Zahuya at 3, Stacey Grech at 2, Begonia Moreno at 1, and Keith Bautista, the cox in that boat. Med, as you can see, rowing well and ahead of Carpe, a Carpe boat not in picture at present, but a good rhythm from the Med ladies, and their nose certainly in front as they approach the final stages of this first regatta of the season over the traditional mile course. And this, of course, is when it begins to really tell, and the stamina and the training comes into play. The Carpe ladies also maintaining good rhythm, the cox looking across the water, keeping a watchful eye on the opponents, and coming close now to the extension jetty for that last effort. In recent seasons, the Med ladies crew has tended to be slightly stronger than the Carpe crew, but certainly they've been too close to call, and there have been some excellent regattas between these two sets of ladies, and it's nice to see now that women's rowing is becoming firmly established on the rock. But coming to the extension, the distance, as you can see, a length and a half more or less, and Med now comfortable. They won it in a time of 7 minutes, 7.61 seconds. And there's a spirited finish from the Carpe crew, as you can see, closing the distance. A stronger finish from them, but it wasn't enough. They clocked 7 minutes, 10.75 to lose by approximately 1 length. And a lot of support, as always, on the North Mole. Unfortunately, we weren't able to film all 3 regattas on Saturday. There was a clash with the football, and our cameraman not being able to practice by location, not a speciality. He was able to get the first 2 regattas before coming down to film the end of the first half and the whole of the second half of the football, and that was the report that we showed you earlier on. But certainly, just to give you the results of the senior regatta, which we didn't row, that was won by Med's first crew in 6:04.58, ahead of Carpe, who's shown a great improvement since the last regatta, which was the endurance one. They came very close to Med, clocking 6 minutes, 8.87 seconds. But we're watching the victorious ladies crew from the Med Rowing Club, and they like to row down in front of the crowd to get the acknowledgement and the applause from the onlookers. And then after that, it was time for the junior regatta, under 16, a novice race this. Carpe against Med, again, 1 crew from each club, but Carpe the first to show. They're looking much the stronger as they came down, already having quite a good lead there. A crew comprising Sean Walker at stroke, Patrick Cavesuto, Ronnie Gashe and Cristina Savardi, with Dennis Peñarver as cox. Whereas for Med, it was Jansen Avellano at stroke, Martin Canders at 3, Ian Viñales at 2, and Christopher Rodriguez at number 1, Ian McIntosh being at the helm. The Carpe crew, very strong and a good rhythm, extending themselves and in fact their lead as they approached the final stages of the regatta. The Med crew in the station, which was furthest from shore, but conditions were pretty good on the day. Neither boat much troubled by the condition of the water, though the lead really very comfortable indeed for Carpe as they approached the extension. And no doubt new rivalries now set between these teams, these crews rather, as they prepare for the season ahead. And Carpe clearly going to win it, and in fact they did quite comfortably in the end in 6 minutes 44.73 seconds. Med clocking 6 minutes 56.14. This is the final stages for the Carpe crew, and pulling strongly along the extension jetty urged by their cocks, who wanted to put as much water between them and the opponents. And there, the buzzer sounding and the celebrations beginning. A little while back, the Med crew, who'd come up and reduced arrears too in the final stages, but they were second, 6 minutes 56.14. The senior regatta, as I say, was won by the Med first crew, but it was good to see that the winning margins were much shorter this time, and that augurs well for the season.